on poodles. Saw the Chihuahuas also. Just like
Sod poodles are everything.
I'm not into that. Saw river wolves. No clue what a river wolf is, but damn it, that's on the list. Did you listen to a song today?
I did, but I picked the song.
No, what was it?
I picked the song, and it was "Good Vibrations" by the Beach Boys.
Hey,
in
R.I.P.
honor
to the
of the
homie.
death of Brian Wilson.
R.I.P.
Tough week for music between Sly
Sly,
Stone
yeah.
and Brian Wilson.
I thought
Those
we
were
were
two
going to
big ones that I grew
save
up
some of
listening
these for
to.
Music Friday.
I know.
But we could
Well,
delve.
do
We
it
can delve.
again.
Yeah, we can. We can dive.
Dive into the catalog.
Get hot and deep into it. Yeah. Of the Beach Boys, like contemporaries that I think of are their contemporaries. You know, I think the Beatles, Elvis comes to mind. That early iteration
Recording in
of
progress.
rock and roll where we're getting the rock and roll was black. Now we're getting white people in to do it. The Beatles are the best ones, right? I can listen to not Beatles.
The Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys are the best
Totally
ones.
agree.
I can listen to the Beach Boys, put it on, and just ride. I can't really listen to the Beatles or Elvis. That's just my ears, the way my ears are trained. Love me some Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys was probably the most commonly played band in our household.
Really?
Growing up. My dad loves the Beach Boys.
Shout out to Kamish.
Loves the Beach Boys. We, as a family, my divorced parents and I at USC Parents Weekend.
Went
they
to
had
a Beach Boy
Boys
party?
Concert. No, Beach Boys concert. They were all really old.
They were
Wasn't
all
quite-
there?
A couple of them.
Okay.
It was like, you know how those
Yeah.
bands do at that point. They replace.
It becomes somebody's nephew
Brian
is filling
Wilson
in.
was there.
Okay.
It was cool.
Good.
It was fun to watch.
Favorite
but
Beach Boy song?
God only knows.
I didn't realize that was them.
Beautiful song.
It's a nice song. Every time I hear it, I think about Big Love. It's like, oh, there the Mormons go.
What an association.
Because it was a theme song. It was their theme song.
California Adventure
Okay.
used to play like exclusively Beach Boys songs when they were like really leaning into just being the California theme park of Disneyland.
Yeah.
And so that also generated a lot of Beach Boys love for me. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, April 12th. It is April. Holy moly. It is June. It's June 12th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, a pivotal Game 3 win for the Indiana Pacers. We will get into how they got it done at home and the bench stars who stepped up in a big way. Teresa Walker will join us about 20 minutes in. We'll get her take on the finals. Titans mini camp news along with other NFL stories from this week. And then it's Thursday. It's draft day. We're drafting best minor league baseball team names. And if you are joining us live today in the chat, you can vote in our chat question of the day. First, you can go ahead and like today's show. Second, vote on today's chat question of the day, which is what is the best minor league baseball team name. Your options are the Booty Divers, the Trash Pandas, the Lugnuts, the Sod Poodles. We have all those and more coming up in the draft. We'll do a little WNBA news from last night. Plus, Theater Thursday, some movie news from the week as well. It's Thursday. You know what we say. Yes, sirs. Yes, sirs.
Why not sing a Beach Boy lyric? Why go there?
Ba 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 ba. Right. Is your child a natural born entertainer? Now is their chance to join the most talented youth dance crew in the Mid-South, the Blue Bunch. The Blue Bunch entertains Grizz Nation with their energetic dance routines and even have the opportunity to collaborate on performances with leading artists in the entertainment industry. Kids ages 7 to 17 are invited to show off their skills and personality for their chance to join the next generation of NBA entertainers. Open auditions are Saturday, June 28th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Bain tries.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jaron with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go, Let's go!
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. One exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Javon Evans might be the Ja Morant of the WWE. You asked me how do I say that? It's because Javon Evans is electrifying. He is viral. He does things you've never seen before. The most athletic guy you've never ever seen in the wrestling world. He reminds me of Ja in a wrestling ring. So Javon Evans, I'm proclaiming you on this day the Ja Morant of the WWE.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, I have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday, one day closer to Friday, coming off a fantastic Game 3 in the NBA Finals. Give me 7 games of what we experienced last night. And after last night, CJ, I'm now willing to believe that it can happen because we cannot say OKC in 5 anymore. And I'm not going to say OKC in 6. I'm going to say give me 7 and let the best team win. As Indiana last night beats OKC in Game 3, 116-107. They now lead the series 2-1, and they got it done giving the Thunder a real taste of their own medicine with a lot of defense and a lot of depth. They forced 19 turnovers. They won the bench point battle 49-18. And as CJ and I pondered yesterday, what would have to happen for the Pacers to have a chance in Game 3 against the Thunder? We talked about the others needing to step up, needing to pop off for Indiana. And I was like, Nesmith or Nembhard or Benedict Mathurin will need to have a big game. And CJ goes, TJ McConnell. And I laughed in this man's face. I laughed, and I would like to apologize for laughing, CJ.
Oh, don't. It's ridiculous that he had a game like that. But that's
for
what
laughing at TJ.
That's what it's going to take for them to win.
No inbounds passes safe with TJ McConnell.
Having an impact on the game that is huge, that is tremendous. Like, that's what it's going to take to beat this Thunder team because they do such a good job of making your best option and your second best option and your third best option and your fourth best option look lesser than what they are. Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player in the world. If I had to have a basketball player on my team right now to go out there and win me one game for my life, I'm going to grab Nikola Jokic. And you and I and Jacob had very real conversations during that series about how poorly y'all felt Nikola Jokic looked. And we were trying to figure out what was going on. I thought he was still the best player on the court, but even I had to admit that he wasn't the Nikola Jokic that I was accustomed to seeing. And if you can do that to him, imagine what you're going to do to everybody else. They did it to Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. They did it to Jokic and Murray. They're doing it again last night. Good bounce back game for both Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton. But they are doing it to both of them. Mm-hmm. So who else on this team is going to step up? Who? Neesmith, tremendous defender. Mathurin, awesome as well. Had a great bounce back game for himself also. But those are options 3 and 4, aren't they?
Well, I would put Mathurin at option 6.
And boom, that's who it is.
McConnell at option 7.
Whoever your 6th through 10th best options are, they're going to have to find a way to go off. And last night they did.
And that's where typically the Thunder's 6th through 10th options have been so consistently head and shoulders above any other team's 6 through 10. And if there was one team that could perhaps measure up in the depth department, it was the Pacers. But it still felt as if the Thunder were just that much better than everybody else. But yes, last night it is the giant game. We will remember Game 3 as the Benedict Mathurin TJ McConnell game. That is how that game will be remembered. And Benedict Mathurin's 27 points in 22 minutes on 9 of 12 shooting. He made 2 threes. He was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He also had 4 rebounds. Those 27 points, the most for a player off the bench in an NBA Finals game since Jason Terry in 2011. Scary Terry in 2011. And you want to know what Jason Terry did in 2011, CJ? Won his first NBA Finals.
I mean, does he have? No, he has one, doesn't he?
Just one.
Okay.
One and only. But there have been some comparisons on, or I guess some connectivity on if the Pacers were to pull off this upset in the NBA Finals. It would be the most surprising NBA title we have seen since 2011 with the Mavs. But it would be leaps and bounds more surprising. That Mavs win gets so elevated just because of who was on the other side of that, just because the opponent was so big and mighty and seemingly indestructible, which the Thunder are a version of that, but it's not the same. The Mavs still won, I think, 57 games that season. And the Pacers, just in terms of sheer odds, were leaps and bounds bigger underdogs going into this NBA playoffs, this NBA Finals, and we have a lot of basketball still to be played. It is only Game 3, but they do have a 2-1 lead, which is more than many prognosticators went on a limb to say they thought the Pacers would be able to achieve. And you just look at players stepping up like a Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell's 5 steals. That steal off Caruso on the inbounds, that was a momentum swing if I ever did see one. The 3 steals in the second quarter, the first one came and I was like, CJ's going to text me.
I waited.
Like 10 seconds. Like it was pretty fast. That text came
I thought I
through.
texted the second one. Because TJ.
Yeah, you probably did on the second one.
I was like, oh. Here's TJ.
Here's another one.
Oh, I got
2 TJ McConnell. Who would have
know.
guessed on June 11th, 2025, I would get 2 texts about TJ McConnell? I know we do this all the time of like energy. Like it's such a thing. But last night was one of those nights where I'm like, oh yeah, I see it with my own eyes. Like that's the energy stat that you cannot put into numbers or words, but it's just the feeling, and the feeling of both McConnell and Mathurin and the energy that they brought with that bench unit was so significant that even as the Thunder are seemingly going to do what the Thunder always do, because like the Pacers would have a great run and you look at the score and they're down 5, or the Pacers have a great run, they're up 2, and then the Thunder bounce back up and you're like, oh, this is how it always goes. You play your best basketball and yet it's still not enough against this Oklahoma City Thunder team. And the Thunder playing far and away not their best basketball, 19 turnovers. They only had 1 20 turnover game in the regular season this year. So really out of character, but also a testament to the physicality, the energy, and the aggressiveness that the Pacers were throwing. And by the time you get to the fourth quarter, the Thunder looked worn out. Like that's what ended up swinging that thing where the Thunder only scored 18 points in the fourth, get outscored by 14. They looked out of gas.
And it's because of what happened in the second quarter,
yeah.
Right? Like that's where the Pacers and their bench really came in and put their hands on the game. The Pacers matched the Thunder in terms of physicality. They said, okay, if this is how we're playing, this is how we're playing. And instead of whining and crying and complaining about it, like, oh, well, hell, we're just going to play this way. And the game was called, I think, pretty evenly on both sides. And in that second quarter, stuff was happening. Like you can't. What I don't like when we discuss those energy guys is the way we try to predict when that energy comes out and when that energy will manifest. Because it's stuff that you cannot predict.
Right.
Right. You just don't know when this is going to happen.
True burst.
But you know this player is capable of making this happen. You don't want to bank on it. You can't bank on it. You can't rely on it. You can't build your team around it. But when it happens, you notice it, and it is very much a large part of the reason why you win. So, again, yesterday I just threw T.J. McConnell out there because T.J. McConnell is an energy dude, and at a certain point, that energy has to come out if you're going to win a game, and if you're going to win this series, has to come out a whole bunch. And last night, to his credit, it was there. He made a couple of boneheaded plays. There were a couple of plays like, TJ, why are you where you are right now with the basketball in your hand?
I don't need TJ to take that shot.
No. Said it a couple of times.
Shot.
TJ, why are you in the paint on somebody 6 inches taller than you shooting the fadeaway?
But he does do a great job of getting to the paint. Like the Pacers have significantly struggled in just getting those guys who are more apt to go north to south against the Thunder, not afraid to go into the teeth of the Thunder's defense. I thought helped open things up for the Pacers. And ultimately, Tyrese Haliburton was able to get a pretty good chunk of a rest there in the fourth quarter. And when he came back, that was lights out for the Thunder. I thought, you know me, Mrs. Terrified that everyone's going to tear their Achilles. Because earlier in the day, the reports come out that Tyrese Haliburton might not be dealing with an ankle problem. It might actually be a little dose of Achilles tendonitis. And I'm like, oh, God, I don't want to watch Tyrese Haliburton have to dance around trying not to tear an Achilles in this situation. And I wondered, and many wondered, would he be hindered? Would this really be like the nail in the coffin for the Pacers? If he can't move or aggressively run after it on offense, on defense, how does that take away from the Pacers' abilities to hang with the Thunder? And instead, that guy was bouncing his booty off all over the court. Like the energy, again, back to the energy, but the aggression level set by Tyrese Haliburton. You and I were talking after game 2 of the notion, like what makes a great Tyrese Haliburton game with this Pacers team, with the egalitarian nature of the Pacers, or the ecosystem, as Rick Carlisle says. And as Rick Carlisle mentioned, like they don't need Tyrese Haliburton to be the leader in shot attempts. They don't need Tyrese Haliburton to be the leader in assists necessarily. And I kind of thought back on that and said, well, if that's going to be your star, you need him to do that. You need Pascal Siakam to have 20 plus in a game. But for Haliburton, it's more the entirety of the aggressiveness of which he approaches the game. So he was moving constantly. He is moving off the ball constantly. The give and go action with the Pacers. And ultimately he gets a shot too. He had the floater going early on, gets the confidence feeling. Next thing you know, he's hitting really difficult step back threes in the fourth quarter. And he almost puts together a triple double. He had 22, 11, and 9? 1 rebound shy of a triple double. I thought that was just the prototype of a great Tyrese Haliburton game. You did not need the late game heroics. You did not need the clutch factor to come in. But what he did in terms of setting the tone for the Pacers, that's a leader. That's a star of a team.
Yeah, Tyrese Haliburton, they threw this up there at the end of the game. When Tyrese Haliburton has 20-plus points and 10 assists, the Pacers, regular season and playoffs, are something like 20-1, 21-1. So that tells you what right there. One, it proves the egalitarian nature of this thing, where your star players only doing 20 and 10 a handful of times, regular season and postseason. But 2, it proves, hey, when he's on, that the Pacers are really, really good and really hard to stop. Now, I'm not sure if he's on or if everybody else is on around him. You get what I'm saying, right? The assist thing comes if teammates are making their shots. Right. And it felt like the teammates yesterday were making shots. Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and others were making their shots when Haliburton got them the ball. There's a very clear pace with which the Pacers play that he is most comfortable with. And that's when they can get up and down the court. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know how much of that is him driving them up and down the court versus how much of it is everybody else deciding, okay, we're going to get up and down the court. I thought it was really, really, they did this with the Knicks, where they decided, okay, you're trying to slow things down. No, we're just going to press you. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how long you can last. And the Knicks had this issue also where by the fourth quarter, dudes were hunched over grabbing their shorts. Now, the Thunder handled it much, much better early than what the Knicks did. And then that second quarter happened. And you talk about the break Haliburton got in the fourth quarter. He got a large break in the second quarter because that second unit was playing so well. And it didn't, after a certain point, it didn't feel like it was a break anymore. Sure, he's getting a break.
Then it felt like a decision.
Then it was like, oh, no, these dudes got something going on right now. We're just gonna keep rolling with them until we absolutely can't anymore. Yeah. And lo and behold, it was a wasn't it a Pacers lead going into halftime? Or was it a Thunder's lead? At some point, the Pacers take the lead and have firm control of that game, either late in the second quarter or early in the third quarter. Where it's like, oh, this thing is being played the way the Pacers want, and then the Thunder come fighting back because that's what they do.
They were up 4 at half.
Who?
And the Pacers.
Okay.
And they'd shot over 50% from the field.
The other thing, they stopped turning the ball. They had 7 turnovers in the first quarter.
Yes.
And they were.
It felt like
they were down.
They had to call the first time out. They're turning it over, and I was like, oh.
It felt like they
here
were going.
Here we go. This series is over.
The Thunder were shooting 55%.
Yeah.
Or the Thunder might have been shooting 50%. The Pacers were shooting like 55%. And it was like, holy hell, why are they down so much? And because they turned the ball over 7 damn times in one quarter. They stopped doing that. They forced Thunder turnovers. They kept shooting that percentage. That's ball game, player.
You have to shout out Miles Turner, who was tremendous in the fourth quarter on Chet Holmgren.
Chet is a little light in the ass.
I was going to say, is it another get in the weight room season?
Yes.
It's always get in the weight room season.
You should be in the weight room if you're playing in this league. Miles Turner caved his chest in twice and then made it real difficult on some of those drives late when Chet didn't have the legs. Contested block shots, got hands up. The block at the 3-point line was great as well. Like, yeah, I was wondering why they brought Chet back in. I would close with Hartenstein.
Hart in that situation. But Hart was getting run off. It's a tricky situation. Rick Carlisle, that's the coaching that it felt would be an advantage for the Pacers in the finals. If there was one clear-cut advantage, it was always going to be the coach. OKC has been here before. Like, I don't want to be too much of a prisoner of the moment. They were down 2-1 to the Nuggets. They bounced back from both of those losses with wins. They had the 43-point win in Game 2. They had a 5-point win in Game 4. I am curious. There's a shorter amount of time between last night's game and Friday. We're back on we had the extended 3 days between games, or 3 days in the totality. Now we're back at a Wednesday to Friday turn. The Thunder are young. They are able to bounce back perhaps quicker, but it is an interesting science experiment because much like we said constantly, are the Pacers going to run the Knicks into the ground? Literally run the Knicks. They put the pace in Pacers, and they did. Will the Thunder be able to recover as much? Because the stamina of the Pacers is just crazy. It's a difficult thing to keep up with.
Some of those turnovers were really careless.
Yeah, they were very dumb.
You can't
very
have,
atypical.
Yeah, you can't have, and I don't know how much of that I can bank on happening again. Inbounds passes should not be stolen at this level. And TJ McConnell had 3 of them, 4 of them?
Yeah.
And so come on, man. Take broken record time. Take care of the damn basketball. Value the ball. You can't do anything without the basketball, man. I would expect the Thunder to fix that and get that going. But hey, got us a series. All you idiots out there who said Thunder in 5, shut the hell up.
Dummies.
Dumbasses.
What absolute morons. Who would say something like that?
Who did you have winning?
Certainly not the Thunder in 5. Okay. What'd you have?
I can't remember.
Certainly. Yeah, you know what?
I can't remember.
I don't recall.
I don't recall it.
That's what I've learned to say. That's what all the crime shows taught me to say. I don't recall.
Oh, really? They taught me to say, I want my lawyer.
They taught me to say, actually, I've been talking about just how good deflect. Remember when I brought up that the Pacers might be able to beat the Cavs? Yeah, I carried that all the way through. There's always been a love for the Pacers. We are Indiana City media.
And until they lose, and then we can go back.
And then whatever, But again, I don't recall. Quick memory. Be a goldfish. That's what Ted Lasso taught me. Be a goldfish.
Short memory.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, goldfish. Didn't mean to be disrespectful of saying you have no memory. All right, Teresa Walker is going to join us on the other side. We'll catch up with her about the NBA Finals. Titans mini camp ongoing in Nashville. We'll get her takeaways from camp thus far. It's Teresa Walker after a quick break.
What should the Grizzlies take away from this Western Conference Finals matchup?
The Grizzlies need more quality depth. Not just depth, quality depth.
Well, what the Memphis Grizzlies can learn and take away from the Western Conference Finals is you can't talk about it, you got to be about it.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up at Open Call Auditions Saturday, July 26th at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Visit Grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
CP the franchise. Do we hate the Pacers?
Of course. I hate Halliburton. I hate Reggie. I hate the Pacers. I hope.
Yeah, where does Halliburton rank?
Is he
Where's he ranked?
Yeah, is there potential for him to be more hated than Reggie by the end of this series?
If you start flipping it all off, for sure.
Yes. Well, first of all, they're built the same. They damn near look the same. You know what I mean? He's like reincarnated Reggie Miller.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance
But
of
you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. It is Thursday. It is time to catch up with Teresa Walker. And Teresa, before we get started on all things finals and minicamp, I saw this clip cross my timeline over the weekend, and it brought me the utmost joy because it turns out that Mike Vrabel has a difficult time letting old habits die fast. And for our audience who might not have seen it, this is how Mike Vrabel started one of his press conferences this week in New England. Take a quick listen.
How you doing, Teresa?
With the up.
Light on phones today. How you doing, Teresa? Sorry. How you doing, Karen?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Mike?
Good.
It is not Teresa. It is Karen in New England, but it was Teresa for so long in Tennessee. Did that just bring the biggest smile to your face?
Well, it did. I mean, he was here for 6 years, and it's muscle memory at this point, right? Pavlovian. Yes. I mean, that's how. And it's coaches and athletes all have verbal crutches, right? And like Brian Callahan now, he likes to start every availability with a summary or something that he wants to get out there and kind of start to set the tone. Mike likes to say good morning, and he was raised well in Ohio. He's got great manners, and I was the tenured female here in the Nashville Media Corps covering the Titans and the president of the local Pro Football Writers chapter. And in New England, Karen Gregian is, and I hope I'm pronouncing her last name properly, but she is kind of the that person in that market, so to speak. So it's nice that I haven't been forgotten. And but let's put it this way: Titan fans are already trying to figure out how badly the Patriots and Mike Vrabel are going to beat them when the Patriots come to Nashville later this season.
Oh, Teresa, what do we need to know from Titans minicamp? It has started. You have been out in the hot, early summer sun watching this team start trying to put it together.
Hot in the city. Jeffrey Simmons is back. There were a lot of people. It's like, it's voluntary off-season program, right? And people are like, Jeffrey Simmons isn't here. He should be here. He and Amani Hooker, the safety, are the two longest tenured members now of this defense, which is a little scary because they're both going into their 7th NFL season. So they're back. Mm-hmm. And Jeffrey Simmons has leaned up. He's lost about 20 pounds, which is funny. He's down to 301, he said, on Tuesday, which is what they list him at. So it's like when you look at those rosters, the weights and, and as we know with Tripp, Jaren Jackson Jr., sometimes those heights never get adjusted. Same with the NFL and weights. You are the weight that they measure you at one time and never change. So he is looking really good and fast. And the thing that I think that has really jumped out this week, Cam Ward. Jeff Simmons is, trash talking the rookie, trying to get in his head, and Cam Ward's coming right back at him. And Callahan talked about this yesterday, and I'm writing it today because we talked to Cam today before we won't see him again until they report for training camp. And, he's talking. Cam Ward is a talker, trash talker, talking the smack. And Jeffrey Simmons had heard about that. So he wanted to see if he could take it as well as give it out. And Callahan said yesterday that he's trying to call a play, the next play, and Cam Ward's still talking. And it's like, do I need to, what's trying to figure out the dynamic. Do I need to, what's going on? No, Cam Ward is able to listen and keep talking, hear the play, go to the line, run the play, and multitask. It's like he's playing in a multiverse of football. So he is a trash talker extraordinaire, and yet 3 C's, calm, cool, and collected. He takes everything in. The mouth can be running, the brain is working, the ears are listening, and he goes out there and tells, calls the play, runs the play. Now, yesterday, defense kind of rebounded a little bit. It happens. It's football. Defense has their days, offense has theirs. There was probably a couple sacks, but on Tuesday there was a play where, he was kind of picked off, and then he comes back and hits another rookie, Gunnar Helm, on a nice play down the field, and it's like, the ability to bounce back, that is something that has caught teammates' attention. So they are loving everything they're getting out of Cam Ward. And yes, he is getting more snaps because, Callahan can say all they want, but, it's like that's the kid who needs more work. Right. And that's who, is there anyone in the known universe who doesn't expect Cam Ward to be the starter September 7th at Denver in the opener?
No. And if you're saying it, I don't think anybody can say it. Like, the people around the Titans seem to not even want to flirt with the idea that he's not the starter week 1.
And so if he's going to be the starter week 1, is there any type of a market for Will Levis? What do the Titans end up doing with that?
Don't be surprised if they keep him. Think about this. In the 17-game season, how many times have we seen the Titans need 2 quarterbacks, sometimes 3 quarterbacks? Yeah. So, it seems like and he's on a rookie contract.
And I was going to say, hell of a cheaper backup option than Kirk Cousins.
Right? Or Daniel Jones, who now has the track to be the starter in Indianapolis, or what they're doing up in New York with the Giants. Look at all the options they've got there. So he's on a rookie deal, going into his 3rd year, 2nd year in this offense. And if you can grow him, guess what? The trade market will be there this offseason, this next offseason, when he has a chance maybe to show that he can be that backup who can step in, who's grown and matured his game. And, they keep saying he's doing everything they want. They're very happy with Will Levis. He's really doing everything they like. Yesterday, he had one of the prettiest balls of the day. But that's the thing. Why get rid of him? This idea that he's used up. We're going on to the next. Let's get rid of him. No. Brandon Allen, do you really want to find yourself in week 10, 11, whatever, and suddenly have to turn to Brandon Allen to win you a game? Now, I know that the idea that this team could be competitive at all is beyond the comprehension of some people. It's the NFL. They have got 48 new players on this roster. They brought in a lot of veterans. They've got a lot of veterans that they signed last year that they need to be healthy this year. Senator Lloyd Cushenberry says he's targeting being back for camp, coming off an Achilles. So if they've got, they brought in some veterans, they brought in a lot of rookies, and Will Levis, he can easily be the backup to Cam Ward, and maybe go in and start a game or 2 or 3 if you need him, because guess what? The NFL shows you are going to need a backup, a decent one at some point, and you can't get cheaper than a rookie deal.
So much of a rookie quarterback's success comes to their offensive line, Teresa. And I saw you put out that the Titans offensive coordinator said that J.C. Latham has been the best lineman this offseason, consistency, performance-wise. But notice that he changed to right tackle after he played last year at left tackle. What went into that decision, and how's the rest of that line panning out?
Well, he played that position at Alabama. They tried him at left tackle last year, but they went out and got Dan Moore Jr. from the Steelers, a guy who has started 66 games. So every game that he's been able to play, 66 in 4 years with the Steelers, and he's a big guy. And, Bill Callahan as their offensive line coach is a great draw. And the good thing for them is Dan Moore had been working out with Peter Skoronski and, yes, J.C. Latham down around Texas near the Dallas area with an offensive line guru this offseason. So they already had a jump start on creating chemistry, camaraderie, knowing each other. And then the Titans made a beeline for Moore to get that experience beside Peter Skoronski, who's going into his 3rd year. And then, that allowed them to flip J.C. Latham to his natural side on the right. And he is down he was near 370 at the end of the season. Yeah, the rookie year got away from him. They talked to him. Nutritionist worked with him, his chef. So he's eating lots of salmon and veggies and just granola bars for snacks. He's down to around 331 or so, or 337, excuse me. And he's wanting to get down to 325, 320 by the start of the season. So why? He said that's, he noticed that's where the tackles are that play in the NFL. And, when you're facing speedy pass rushers, you need to be a little leaner. And it's like, some people look at him as like, is that J.C. Latham? I mean, it's so noticeable when an offensive lineman loses weight. So you've got, and then, right guard, Kevin Zeitler is a guy that they signed from Detroit. And the draw for him, the chance to work with Bill Callahan and hone his game. So, and he said, we played them last year. There's talent on this team. He wanted to come be a part of this offensive line and work with Bill Callahan. So you've got experience now at the left tackle, center, right guard, and 2 young players in Skoronski and Latham. So they've got a nice mix, but they've got some bookends, so to speak, in that experience to help this line. And that's the thing. If they can improve and give Cam Ward an extra second, that's going to be such a chance for this offense to take mighty steps forward. And guess what? When you're in the bottom, you got a lot of steps to take.
There's a lot of room for growth. Teresa, NBA Finals, it's a series. The Pacers up 2-1 after last night's Game 3 win. And it just struck me like how back Indiana basketball is in its totality as you see the sights of Caitlin Clark, who the Pacers are now 8-0 when Caitlin Clark is in the building, but it's her and Aaliyah DeBoston and Natasha Howard courtside, and kind of that connectivity between the Fever, which have so much energy right now, and the Pacers, who are in the dang NBA Finals. And it just feels as if this is a moment for Indiana to reestablish itself. You see the fans in the stands with the shirts last night in 49 other states. This is Indiana. What do you make of the Pacers' run through the playoffs, the ability for them to prove a lot of people silly by making this a series when so many went into the finals with a very quick, Thunder in 5, Thunder in 4, and now you're having to actually have conversations of, could the Pacers actually do this?
Hey, as long as they keep winning games, they absolutely can do this. I mean, that's the thing. When you pull off what they did in game 1, where they only led in the last, thanks to that last bucket. And I saw one stat last night that even at that point of Game 3, they'd only led for like 1 minute and 53 seconds of the series. And yet today they have a 2-1 lead. So, the goal is to win the game. And when you win 4 of them, you win the series. So, I'm curious to see if OKC stops playing with their lineup. Charles Barkley kind of pointed that out last night. It's like, dance with those who brought you. Okay, there's a time to quit trying to go in the closet and find a new wardrobe. You got to this point, wear what you got, go play, put your team on the floor and go. But Indiana, absolutely a moment. The University, or is it Indiana University? I can never keep it straight. But the Hoosiers need to look and see what they're doing with the Fever and the Pacers, because maybe Indiana basketball is 2/3 of the way back. I think that there's still a huge core that won't say it's all the way back until the Hoosiers actually become winners again. And when I say winners, national threats, which they have not been in a very long time. That said, what the Pacers are doing, at a certain point, you just want to jump on the bandwagon, because with Halliburton and the things they've got going on, it's fun to watch what they're doing, because I don't want to be the anti-fun police. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon with them.
Teresa, super random. You cover everything in this great state. Tennessee, Sunday, Saturday, I can't remember, baseball. They ended up falling to LSU. What's the vibe like around that?
Arkansas.
That baseball? Arkansas. Thank you. I'm sorry. They fell to Arkansas. See, that's why we have Teresa. She knows. I knew it was one of them SEC West teams, former SEC West. I don't know what we call them now. What's the vibe like around the baseball program? Season success, failure? They didn't get to Omaha. What's the thoughts?
Success, but the bar has been raised. And the bar is try to get to Omaha. And, considering that they were the national champs a year ago, replaced 8 of 9 starters, it's like, okay, we did good. It almost feels like they got so many run rule games early in the season that maybe they got a little slack. When you lose innings, that's experience, that's practice. And they lost a lot of those in February into early March before league play started, especially on the Tuesday game. So they're bringing in all sorts of people, stocking up that pitching staff again. And, that's the thing. I'm more concerned about how the House settlement ends up affecting the other sports, because so much money seems to be slanted toward football and men's basketball. And the problem at Tennessee is everything, when they say everything school, it's like literally rowing, swimming, men and women, diving, golf, men and women, Lady Vols and everything, softball. I mean, come on, they were in the semifinals for the College World Softball Series. So it's like they are competitive in everything. How do they divvy all that up and make it work? Yet, as we still have more lawsuits still being filed. So Tennessee, they know exactly what the goal is now. The bar has been raised, and Omaha is the destination every year for Knoxville.
You mentioned that House settlement. Last thing before I let you go, because I saw yesterday, coming out of the original conversations around the House settlement and the back-end payments, along with schools now being able to pay athletes directly, and like you said, the majority of that going to football and basketball. The headline that I saw yesterday was that 8 female athletes are appealing the settlement, saying that it violates Title IX. And originally I was like, I was waiting for this. Then I saw that this one in particular only is for the back damages part, not the revenue sharing part. But I have to expect that eventually there will be one for the revenue sharing part as well. What do you make of that? And is there a world where we could see somebody perhaps come at Title IX, something that has just become such a ingrained part of college sports?
When you say come at Title IX, you mean just get rid of it?
Given how certain things are working in this country right now, yes. Like, that is my fear, that it will be seen as a barrier to stop giving the richest schools the most money and the programs the most money, and if it's something that gets in the way. Is there any universe where you could see that happening?
Well, yes, because, I mean, it's always a battle between the haves and the have-nots in any part of society. And, the fact that it's going to affect athletics. The thing that helps female sports right now is the eyeballs that are on it. You see the ratings for the College World Series for softball. You see the ratings for the NCAA tournament. You see what's going on in the WNBA. You see the Major League Baseball's investment in softball for Athletes Unlimited. And that's the thing. It's the door's been cracked open, and people are trying to push it open. But absolutely, until and I've talked to too many attorneys and labor professors. The lawsuits are going to keep coming until there's congressional legislation to codify the House settlement. And that's the problem. It seems like it takes a bite at the apple of college athletics and doesn't deal with the entirety, which, yes, I mean, you look at a college campus, and while so many of sports have been monetized and are making money, yes, nothing makes the money that football does. but other sports are, with the ground that they're making, in female sports, literally have decades behind male athletes. And there's still such a long way to go. Having seen the progress in my lifetime, it's, until, everything is at risk, because, what you have gained, you never can settle and simply say, oh, we've arrived, because you've never arrived. You have to keep building, because the instant you stop, whatever it is, even in our own lives, if you're at work and you think, I'm good, I don't have to work hard ever again, guess what? They're going to come for your job too. And that's where we're at college athletics. I'm really curious to see how the female sports survive and how they end up divvying out the money. But yes, more lawsuits are coming. And it's like, this is just, as I think one attorney I follow on social put it, this is just the beginning and the end. And now we're into the next bit.
Yeah, and of course, I want to be clear, Title IX is just not only about sports. It's higher education in its totality, trying to protect against gender-based discrimination and sexual harassment, but sports is included in that, and I would be curious how that plays out in the coming months. Teresa, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Consensual heart hands all around. Mike Vrabel, first question forever and always. We'll see you later.
Bye.
That was Teresa Walker. You can always find her latest at The Associated Press. We will take a quick break. We'll come back. A little WNBA action from last night. Paige Beckers made her return. She had an awesome game in a Wings loss. That's the way the season will go for the Dallas Wings. But we will also have our draft, and we are drafting the best minor league baseball team names, not ever, that currently exist. They have to be currently active. We will get into it. CJ's got his I Go Down shirt ready to go. We'll be back after a quick break.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today. The Grizzlies, grannies, and grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Sharon with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go! Let's go!
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Jalen Wells is in studio right now. You took on tough, if not the toughest defensive assignment. When did you realize that would be your role?
And that's what I was working towards since training camp. I was trying to guard Dez. I was trying to guard Ja whenever I could, even if they're blowing by me, overpowering me. I really didn't care, because I was a rookie. So it's like, that's what's going to happen to a rookie.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Last week, I gave you the update about my son Kevin in terms of
Has
having
he
to
made
choose.
the decision?
He picked Tennessee State.
Oh, my heart, Mike.
The next day, we got an email from the director of Tuskegee's program laying out everything that they were going to be doing, and he flip-flopped.
There we go.
He flip-flopped. So he's going to be going down to Tuskegee.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
I don't love that. All right, welcome back. Before we get to our draft of the day, some WNBA things from last night. Paige Beckers came back from concussion protocol and dropped a casual 35 points on 13 of 19 shooting, made 5 threes, also had 6 rebounds and 4 assists. The Wings would have lost by 100 without her. That might be slightly hyperbolic, but only slightly, because they lost to the Mercury 93-80, and Paige Beckers was the only player to make a 3 for the entire team, and she had more shots than the rest of the starting lineup combined. Paige was awesome. They don't call her Paige Buckets for nothing. If you go back and watch the highlights of Paige last night, it's incredible. Like, the way that her game has already made the jump from college to the W, and this notion, we started to see this more through this year's NCAA tournament, where she was more willing to be the number 1 scoring option for UConn. That wasn't always her natural tendency. She was more of a pass-first point guard, a true floor general of the offense, but she has that in her, and I think that's great news for the Wings, because if I were the Dallas Wings at this point, and I know you might not agree, CJ, go all in on Paige being your number 1 option, because she can.
If that's what you're going to do, I would shop Arike.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, if this is what we're doing, that means she's now in control of when the window opens. I'm not sure if we need Arike, and I feel like you could get absolute haul for Arike right now. And we could speculate recklessly about who could send what and give who for Arike, but it will be some pretty big name players that you could use to build around Paige Beckers. And I cough. I'm looking, where's West? That I think that way is West. I'm looking west towards the Aces. Like, yo, maybe y'all might want to break up some of those pieces and bring in a perimeter scorer, because you have none of that.
They also need a big.
Hey, start one thing at a time. Figure it out from there.
That's what this is for.
And I'm sure the Wing have somebody you could grab to be a backup big or something or another. I don't know, but definitely that's the team I would say, hey, go ahead and break up some of those chicks on the perimeter and make a push for Arike. There's no doubt in my mind how good Paige is right now. And my knock on Paige for most of her college career up until this year, you brought it up. Like, does she want to score? Can she? She scores. She impacts the game in a lot of different areas. Yes, absolutely. She's great at that. But when you need her to get buckets, can she go out there and get buckets? She got buckets in the NCAA tournament. She's getting buckets in the W right now. All of that is impressive. My question to you, because I saw that, I was like, oh, the Dallas Wings are hopeless right now. So are the Chicago Sky, but the Wings feel much better to me about their situation than the Sky. Is it because of Paige?
Okay. I think you watch Paige Beckers and you imagine a world where, with a little bit of time and the right moves and the right drafts, because they're going to be bad again, so they should get a good pick in next year's draft. I was thinking last night, like, what would a Lauren Betts look like on this Dallas Wings team? And that's going to take, again, time. But Paige is that special of a player. Paige is in the same. There was some stat from last night, and I can't remember if I sent it or not, so I don't know the specificities. But she's putting up numbers that she and Caitlin Clark are the only 2 rookies in WNBA history to be having these kind of a scoring games. I believe it was 35 and 5. So rookies who have had 35 or more points and made 5 threes in a game. Like, it's Paige Beckers and it's Caitlin Clark. And we've talked so much. I don't want to bring anybody else into this conversation, but in terms of 2 players who are on similar talent trajectories in the W, it's those 2. Like, it's those 2, and then eventually in 2 years, if Juju comes off of her ACL. Like, there's just something different about those star quality players who truly can do it all. Because for Paige, it's not just scoring, obviously. It's being able to facilitate. It's being able to lead the offense. She's a good defender. good defender, great ball handler, great scorer. Like, that's what you build a team around. And that's why I think it feels significantly different if you are the Wings, where this feels like we know this is going to take some time and we're willing to be dazzled by Paige in the meantime, versus the Sky, where the sky feels like it's falling.
All right. So if you're pitting her in that class of athlete, Paige, do you wait or do you just open the window now? Right? You're saying
the same thing of what the Spurs are doing with Victor Wembanyama. You're not necessarily waiting, but you're actively getting better.
The Fever
each year.
opened the window now. The Fever went out there in this offseason and said, yo, Dwana Bonner come through, Howard come through. Like, we're going to be better now. Sophie Cunningham is the one. Hull was there. Sophie, I'm getting them mixed up because they're always around one another to the point to where I can't tell them apart.
They really are.
Like, all right. But they made the decision to open it now. They looked and said, Caitlin Clark is that dude that let's go ahead and open it now. So would you, if you're the playing general manager for the Dallas Wings, are you trying to move off of Arike this year? And then
I'm not necessarily trying to move off of Arike.
Would you go and try and open the window right now by getting veterans? Okay.
Yes.
And not necessarily wait on the stars coming out of college the next year, 2 or 3.
Correct. The blend of those two things.
Yeah.
Like, you're still going to be bad enough to get a great draft pick, but you can't just rely on the slow build that it's going to take in young players only.
You don't have to be bad enough next year to get a good draft pick. You'll be bad this year. This year
for
you'll
another
be
draft
bad.
pick next
but
year.
You could flip that draft pick.
The other thing with the Sky of why it feels, they don't even control their first round pick next year.
Who they trade up to get? Was it Cardoso? I didn't
know
realize
that off the top of my head. Look
Okay,
it
I'll
up.
look it up.
The other thing from last night, the Minnesota Lynx suffered their first loss of the season. One of the unbeatens has fallen. The Storm took down the Lynx 94-84 in Seattle. Lynx now 9-1. The Storm, the ones who deliver the one. Storm's entire starting lineup scored in double figures in this one. Nneka Ogwumike had 21. Erica Wheeler had 20. And Erica Wheeler has been everything for this Storm team. She was really emotional post-game. She got a standing ovation. When that move happened of her going from Indiana to Seattle, it was seen as obviously a positive for the Storm, but I certainly didn't anticipate her being such an important catalyst in why they are one of those upper tier teams in the W. We talked yesterday, Lynx and Liberty head above everybody else, but then there's this collection of teams behind them, be it the Dream and the Mercury and the Storm, and the Aces continue to struggle, but the Storm are right in there because of Erica Wheeler. Like, she had 20 and 9 last night, and she had 2 daggers that put it away, both a big 3 that put them up 88-84 with 46 seconds left, and then she had the and 1 layup finish that officially sealed it in the final seconds of the game. Crazy last 2 minutes of that game. It was 83-79 Storm. With 2 minutes left, a Lynx basket got overturned because of a shot clock violation, and then the Storm outscored them 11-5 down the stretch. I just didn't think the Storm would be this good, but one of the major reasons they are is Erica Wheeler. And now we have one undefeated team left, and that is the New York Liberty. And we have to wait 100 years to see Liberty Lynx still. I'll just complain about it every time we bring it up.
Ridiculous.
All right, let's do our draft. We are drafting the best minor league baseball team names. Best minor league teams in baseball.
Are we doing alternate names as well?
Yes. We are including alternate names, and we are including summer collegiate league teams. So that leaves like the teams where like college players go and play during the summer. They're not necessarily a part of the MLB connection. Okay. Does that make sense?
I got you. So a player gets done, they get drafted in the summertime. The MLB season's already going on. The AA, AAA is already happening. Some players end up going collegiately.
Yes.
Once they get drafted, the season's over. They end up going to this league to play with other college players before the next season. I got you. Because the baseball draft is so weird to me because the draft happens now, right? Like it's coming up or it just happened. And the season is still going on. Right. Okay.
All right. I think there's a very clear number 1 pick.
You and Jacob both said that.
A very clear number 1 pick.
You and Jacob both said that, and I'm not sure. Now I feel bad like I'm missing something out.
Oh my God.
Recount.
No.
Recount.
That is
There's
mine.
no way.
That is absolutely
There is
mine.
no way.
It is a sliver of a win.
No, zoom in on
for
that.
Jessica
Throw the red
Jane
flag.
Benson.
Get out of here. There is no way that's you. Jessica, that's no way. No.
That's right there.
No.
I see blue. I see blue.
Get out of here.
I see blue.
Whatever, y'all.
Okay.
Come storm the daggum GCM offices. This is ridiculous. I've been robbed. I've been cheated.
I'm so curious if this is who Jacob is assuming that the clear number one overall pick is. But with the number one pick, please give me the Rocket City Trash Pandas. The Rocket City Trash Pandas, Southern League AA affiliate of the Angels, located in Madison, Alabama, named for the area's association with the space industry in Huntsville and the determination and ingenuity of raccoons, which are native to the Huntsville area. They dig through the trash. They are the Trash Pandas. I love the little Trash Panda astronaut imagery that they've got going on. They sound so cute, but also so scary.
I did not know that is where you were going. You said that's clear number
Pandas.
one?
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Was that Jacob's number one?
It's on my list. I'm not sure. It was.
Yeah.
It was
The
Jacob's
Trash
number one
Pandas,
also.
Clear number one pick.
I mean, I guess we live in two different
Two Americas?
Two Americas. Shout out to Morehead City. Shout out to the Morehead City Marlins out of the Coastal Plain League. Their alternate name, I go down. Do you? Booty Divers. Give me, what is it? The Crystal Bay, Crystal City. I'll look up the name, Jacob. The Booty Divers. I guess such a good name. Everybody knows that Blackbeard's treasure is buried somewhere or was lost somewhere off of the coast of North Carolina where Morehead City is. And every now and then tourists go through and they dive for some booty. They go diving for the treasure, baby. Shout out to the Booty Divers. Crystal Coast. Thank you, Jacob.
It is an alternative because they're the Morehead City Marlins, right? Yeah. It's a great alternative.
The Coastal Plain League has a bunch of really good names.
They do.
They do.
They do. And I could
Like
take
regular
from that.
names, not alternate names.
Yeah. Are you taking any more from them?
I don't think I am.
I don't think I'm going to take any from them either, but I very easily could have taken a variety of Coastal Plain League teams, like the Macon Bacon was certainly on my short list. The Tri-City Chili Peppers was on my list. And what was the Flamingos, the Bigfoots? They got great ones all around. I am going to go with a bit of a curveball. No, I'm not taking it next. I'm sorry. I think I have time for it.
You think so? You don't know.
I never know.
I got a list.
I am going to go with the Amarillo Sod Poodles with my number 2 pick. Amarillo Sod Poodles, the Texas League AA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, located in Amarillo, Texas. And the Sod Poodles are prairie dogs. Okay. They are prairie dogs, yes. And the organization had it narrowed down between the boot scooters, the bronc busters, the jerky, the long haulers, and the sod poodles. And shockingly, the names received negative feedback from locals over their absurd nature, but the team indicated their intention to adopt an unusual family-friendly name, and thus the Sod Poodles were born. It references the prevalence of prairie dogs in West Texas. The name was meant to convey the values of sticking together, being family-oriented, and self-sufficient.
Wait, I didn't know we were supposed to send
I sent graphics.
I should have sent dag blast it.
Can we put the Sod Poodles back up? Because I think they're really cute.
The Sod Poodles.
The Sod Poodles.
I saw Sod Poodles.
Look at him. It's a Sod Poodle in a cowboy hat. It's a prairie dog in a cowboy hat.
That is kind of cool. All right. I see that. People in the chat love the Sod Poodles.
I love the Sod Poodles.
There was a Sod Poodle and somebody's the Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm just not into dogs.
I'm not taking the Chihuahua, the El Paso Chihuahuas.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll keep it right here in the great city of Memphis.
Okay.
We'll go to where the Redbirds are, AutoZone Park. Not the Redbirds. Let's go barbecue nachos. Love me a good food mascot. And there's no food more iconic in this region than barbecue nachos. Okay. Give me the Memphis barbecue nachos, man. Good stuff. Okay. I need to get over there and get me some barbecue nacho merch. Get that gear. Give it to me.
I'm going to take the Rocky Mountain Vibes with my number 3 pick. Pioneer League, currently an MLB partner league. The Rocky Mountain Vibes are independent, but they previously were with the Brewers. And if I were the Brewers, I would try to get them back because the Rocky Mountain Vibes have the greatest mascot in all of sports. I'm willing to say it. The greatest mascot, like the actual physical mascot, is a s'more.
Oh.
It is Toasty the S'more. Oh. And Toasty the S'more with the Rocky Mountain Vibes in flames. I'm sorry, the entirety of that graphics package, whoever created that, it's so simple. It looks like anybody could do it, and yet it hits so hard. Toasty was born a healthy s'more on Monday, November 19th, 2018 in beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado. Toasty was born big for a s'more at 71 inches, 284 pounds, and 9 ounces. A proud Colorado Springs native, Toasty enjoys spending his free time watching baseball, hiking Pikes Peak, and the Garden of the Gods with his best friend, Sox the Fox, and just going with the vibe.
Could you eat
Rocky
a
Mountain
71-inch s'more?
I could try.
71 inches is a lot of inches
I
to
love
fit in
a-
your
I
mouth.
love
but
a s'more.
damn it, give me all those inches. I will
love
go.
a s'more.
Shout out to the Timber Rattlers. I got a lot of alternate names on here.
Okay.
Wisconsin, the high A affiliate in the Midwest League. I do believe they're with the Brewers, if I remember correctly. Udder Tuggers. I love a good udder tug. Shout out to the Wisconsin Udder Tuggers. Let's get it going.
Unfamiliar with their game.
Oh, there's Udder Tugger merch. I can't wait to break out the
Get
shirt
me a
on the
sticker
show.
to go with my booty divers,
I got
please.
you. I got you. You got space for an Udder Tug?
I always make space for an udder tug.
Well, we'll get the Udder Tuggers on there for you.
All right. With my next one, please hold. I am going to take the alternate personality. So I'm not taking the West Michigan Whitecaps, which are in the Midwest League, high A affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. But every now and then, the West Michigan Whitecaps become the Beer City Bunghammers. Give me the Beer City Bunghammers with my number 4 pick. They become the Bunghammers for their salute to Beer City night. I don't know what a bunghammer is, but it sounds a lot like a bunghole, and that makes me giggle.
That's
so
where I
I'm
went.
taking
Shout
the
out to
Beer City
Bride.
Bunghammers, and I love this very adorable glass of beer. Just trying to hit that. Is that a cork?
Is that a bung?
Is that a cork?
Is that what the bung is?
I don't know, but I like it.
Shout out to
Give me
Pride
the bung
Month.
hammers.
Let's go.
I would also take a bung hammer sticker.
We'll Bung Hammers hook us up with a sticker,
Give us
please.
some merch.
Just a sticker.
I would take merch from any of these. I mean,
easy.
a Rocky Mountain Vibes
Is there-
shirt would hit.
I take merch from everybody.
Me too. I'm not picky.
Come on, man. All right. I will go with. Let me go with the Frisco Rough Riders, Texas League AA. That I didn't realize this at the time, but they're the first volunteer cavalry regiment during the Spanish-American War. Feel like I should say the first Spanish-American War. Feels like we're getting real close to a second. I hear Rough Riders, and I just think DMX. That's all I think about. I think about a bunch of pit bulls running around, dudes on four-wheelers driving up and down the street. Give me the Rough Riders, man.
I like that. I am going to take with my final pick. I have so many options on this list.
You do.
I really do.
You do.
I'm going to take the Lansing Lugnuts.
Okay.
I love a little alliteration. And the Lansing Lugnuts of the Midwest League, the high A affiliate for the Athletics, located in Lansing, Michigan. And it is an ode to the industrial center that is Lansing and home of the Oldsmobile. And you want to know what needs a lot of lug nuts? The Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
I love a nut as a mascot.
You got bungs
I
and
love
nuts
some
up
tools.
there.
I'm
Goodness
incredibly
gracious.
handy. My list is very handy.
With the lug nuts. All right. I will go last pick. This is a tough one. We'll go to the great city of Akron, Ohio, where the AA team for for the Guardians resides.
Okay.
The Rubber Ducks. Give me the Akron Rubber Ducks. Rubber Ducky, you're the one. Quack, quack. They make half time, lots of fun. Quack, quack. Rubber Ducky, and I'm really quite fond of you.
Great one.
Give me the Akron Rubber Ducks. Blue Wahoos was sitting there. That was the one.
I have the Pensacola Blue Wahoos.
I had the Blue Wahoos.
I have the Albuquerque Isotopes.
That one was on my list.
I've got the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
What about the Rumble Ponies?
I have the Binghamton Rumble Ponies.
Space Cowboys?
I have the Space Cowboys. I have the Asheville Tourists. Because what's scarier than a tourist? Low-key scariest mascot in sports.
My list.
I have the Hartford Yard Goats.
That's on my list.
I have the Carolina Disco Turkeys, which hurt me not to take.
Oh.
It's a turkey with a disco ball.
You should have. That's
pretty good. That's right up my alley. The Portland Pickles.
Look at the disco turkey.
The Portland Pickles was good.
Okay.
I have two that mean something to me. The Walla Walla Sweets, which are sweet onions. And the mascot is an onion, and then the Yakima Pippins, whose mascot is an apple. That was the collegiate league that I covered at my first job, and I spent a lot of time at Pippins and Sweets games, and they were actually a wonderful time. The Tri-City Dust Devils, who we talked about earlier, and the Florence Yawls.
I saw that one.
Yawls.
Thought about it.
There's so many good ones.
Seawolves was another one that was on my list, but yeah, I like my list.
It's a good list.
I like it. I like your list
Toledo
also.
Mudhens.
Anytime we can get bung and nuts all over the place. The baby cakes.
R.I.P. to the homies. I actually did not realize that the baby cakes went out of business. They folded. According to Jacob, I actually didn't look this up.
The team folded, but not the actual baby cakes.
No,
right?
the
Because
team.
then what are we going to do for Mardi Gras?
Yeah, their Wikipedia page is in the past tense. They were a minor league baseball team. How did we let the baby cakes die? I'll never forget that mascot popping up for the first time and people being like, "Oh my god!"
Scarier than that scary ass pelican they had down there. Also, New Orleans should just lean in, or should have just leaned in to being the place with terrifying mascots.
Could have been more fun.
Yeah.
Could have been a more fun time. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we will get into some Theater Thursday. They are going to show a movie at the Sphere, and it's an immersive experience. We'll find out, what movie would you like to most see at the Sphere? We'll get into that along with other news. Ice Spice is going to be in the SpongeBob movie. We get a new Christmas Carol. All that and more on the other side.
Two girls, one.
Overwhelming demand, the Summer of 99 Tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of 99 Tour.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seated this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But
of
you get a
sticking.
lot of stuff. You get a parade. I
They
think you
do?
go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back. CJ, I always forget. Do we treat comedy specials in theater Thursday or TV
Yeah, we
Tuesday?
treat it in theater.
We do?
Yeah.
Everyone should watch the Gerard Carmichael comedy special. And by everyone, I mean not everybody. But if you have that kind of sense of humor, CJ recommended it yesterday, and it was exactly what I needed to get a good chuckle in. I watched 2 comedy specials in a 10-minute comedy set yesterday. What's the name of the guy you sent me? The Marriage is Major Surgery? Hold on.
Why do I want to say Marcus Wiley? It's Marcus Wiley.
Yes, because when I
Marcellus
looked him
Wiley,
up,
yeah.
it gave me the information for Marcellus Wiley. That was very funny as well. And it took me so long into the Marcus Wiley set before I realized he's a clean comic.
Yeah.
Never swears. Everything is done kind of in a like tongue-in-cheek way as he describes various parts of marriage. That was great. It's on YouTube. Gerard Carmichael, not a clean comic. Do not watch with your parents if you're out there.
Or watch it.
Or watch it with your
Be
parents. I
uncomfortable
don't
with them. It's
care.
good stuff.
His comments on anxiety were one of my favorite little. He has a lot of funny moments, but that just hit me so hard because I was like, oh, we are the same. And then next thing I know, he's talking about how much he loves choking someone. And I was like, we are not the same.
That's when I was like, oh, we're the same.
Oh, we switched.
Oh, we're the same. The joke about like sharing and opening up towards his partner,
Yeah.
I think is great. And I think it opens because for those who don't know, Gerard in Rothaniel, he came out publicly as a gay man. And so that special was all about that. And so this special was like, hey, so I came out as gay, and here's my life.
I did this show, too.
And I did this show, and here I go pulling the curtains back about why I decided to do that reality show and what my life has been like. And so he starts with a joke about race. He ends with a joke. The joke about race has some intersectionality with homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends the show with a joke about homophobia that has some intersection about race. Yeah. It's just he is so very, very funny.
His delivery is funny.
He's so dry, and sometimes with dry comics, it can be too dry. Like you're not sure when they're joking. No, he lets you know when he's joking because he finds it funny and ridiculous.
I usually prefer the comics who do the dry and don't like laugh at their own stuff.
Yeah.
But that does bring me to this 10-minute set I watched of this Amber Autry, who all of a sudden is everywhere on my timeline. She's from Tennessee, so I don't know if it's just this like hyper local trying to feed this content, but she's getting huge. She's gained like 100,000 followers in the last couple weeks or so, and she was part of the Netflix is a Joke where they give comedians like a 10-minute set, put it up on Netflix, try to give them
the comedians on the smaller circuits.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Young, exciting comedians, and some really big names have made it through there and then turned into something big.
Yeah.
I do think she's probably gonna. She has a good trajectory. She's funny, but she does laugh at all her own jokes. But her laugh is really funny, so her laugh kind of adds to an extra side of that. But I recommend her too. So Amber Autry, Gerard Carmichael special, and Marcus Wiley. Those were all good.
Marcus came. I found out about him when Ali Sadiq came through to the Orpheum. I love Ali Sadiq.
It seems like Ali Sadiq is the one who stamped him and kind of put him on a fast track.
Yes, and so he was already on a fast track. Right, like
because he made the BET top 5 clean comics.
Yes, and he's doing church circuits.
Yes.
So he was a comedian who you could come through to some of your churches, some of your larger churches, and perform there with humor that would appease the church crowd, not be offensive, that type of stuff.
And he has a very he's the son of a pastor, and he has a big pastor vibe.
Oh, very,
but
very,
not in a way that
very
annoys me, because sometimes that bugs me.
No, the thing about you sent me what's her name?
Amber Autry.
All right, you sent me her. I hadn't watched her yet, but the thing about both Wiley and Carmichael is they are so self-aware.
Yes.
Right. So when
she's incredibly self-aware.
Okay, so when Marcus Wiley starts telling the jokes about the church, he knows, like, hey, some people this might seem strange to them. Let me explain it to them. And listen, it is strange, right? Yes. Like it's an odd thing that we have to go through and do. Same thing about marriage. Like everybody's not married. Everybody's not in a relationship. There are some things that I'm going to talk about people might not be aware of. Let me explain it to them. But also, this is pretty damn ridiculous, too. And so I loved him. When I saw him at the Orpheum, he was incredible. He opened for Ali Sadiq and then went back and just found his stuff. Ali Sadiq and Marcus Wiley, and I'm sure others, but those are the two that immediately come to my mind. They are crushing it as it pertains to being like an independent comic.
Yes.
Whereas, hey, we're not going to put our stuff on Netflix. We're not going to put our stuff on Hulu or Paramount or whatever other streaming platform it is, because we'd have to give them some of the proceeds, some of the profits. We can record our comedy specials, do a good job of doing so, and then we can just throw them straight up on YouTube, and we can get the money that way. Ali Sadiq, his last My Two Sons, I watched that. And in the past month, I've watched a whole bunch of comedy specials I be meaning to talk about on the show and always forget to. But I watched that, and it's millions of people watching that.
Yes.
And that just goes straight from there to him.
Yes.
And that's incredible when you stop and sit down and think about it. My Two Sons, great special. One of my favorite specials of the year.
I have to watch the Roy Woods one next because you said that one was really good.
It's great.
I'm trying to get back into it. Like, we all could use some laughs here and there. And
Yeah.
I audibly laughed in all three of those, and it felt good.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Gerard Carmichael, I was like legitimately cackling.
Carmichael made me sit up. Like I had to sit up to breathe.
I was on the treadmill and I had to get off and get water because I lost my breath.
Yeah.
So
it's like, holy hell, why would he say that?
He's so funny.
Right in the middle of Pride Month also.
Happy Pride. Hey, by the way, in case people didn't know, Pride got washed out last week.
Okay.
They're doing it not this weekend, next weekend.
All right.
The 21st.
Okay.
So it will be downtown Memphis. And I'm so happy for people who spent so much time on their floats and the parade and everything. So the parade will be back downtown Memphis. All right, some movie news. The Las Vegas Sphere has done a little bit of everything. Obviously, they've gained so much notoriety for the concerts that they have housed, including mostly the Grateful Dead, who have essentially had a residency there. They are now going to move into the movie space, and they are going to be screening The Wizard of Oz starting August 28th. They will use their 160,000 square foot screen to show the movie. They've remastered the songs. They have also 167,000 speakers for the immersive audio experience to be along with it. And they are trying to make it feel as if you are actually in Oz once you enter the sphere. So on the outside, you get the house that has crushed the witch, the Wicked Witch of the East. And those shoes are real. So this is what the sphere looked like as they made their announcement. You get the tornado, you get the whole Twister situation, and then those shoes popped up one day, and they are life size. Like, people have been taking pictures with the shoes to show just how big they are and what this experience is. I would go to this. I would actually be interested. I think this is an interesting way to bring back old movies. I have not necessarily wanted to sit down and watch The Wizard of Oz in years, but I would be interested in seeing The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
So just play all the old movies at the Sphere, make it completely immersive. Like, you can do that with Wizard of Oz because of the immersive nature that comes with that movie, right? So you can get the wind blowing inside. Of course, you can do cool things with the lights, as well as Dorothy makes her way from Kansas to the land of Oz. And then you can do things as they make their way up and down the yellow brick road.
Oh, I take it back. I don't need to see The Wizard of Oz for $138.
How much did you think it was going to be?
I don't know. It was like $50 for their, when Chris and I went to the Sphere, we didn't go to a concert, but we went to their like normal daily tour and the nature video that they show, and not just nature, but like the history of the world. And I think that was $50.
Okay. $150
is a lot of money to go see The Wizard of Oz.
What movie are you?
You better be reincarnating Judy Garland herself to come sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow for me. I better get a Judy Garland hologram.
Okay.
Singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow at that point.
All right, $150. What movie you gonna go see at the Sphere?
Well, not for $150, but for a more reasonable price. I think the Harry Potter series would crush. I think if they did something Harry
Which
Potter,
one?
I think they should do the
All of them?
entirety of it.
Okay.
Yes. I think that'd be so cool.
Would you pay $150 to see all of them?
Yes.
Okay.
I would. All
right.
7. And
8.
Yes.
Isn't it 8? Because they split Deathly
technically,
Hallows
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Did they split 2 of them or
No,
just
they
the last one? Just the 7?
split
Yeah.
the last one.
What would you go see?
I think I'd pay $150 to see Jurassic Park.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, to see Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
See Jurassic Park.
Yes.
I'm not into it, but I would be willing to bet you could get some of the Star Wars movies. I bet if you could immerse yourself in
Yes.
them, you could throw that in there. Jacob, which one did you say?
Avatar.
Avatar. Okay, I'm not super into it, but yeah, that's another
It
one
would
that
look
could work.
cool though, like from a visual standpoint.
Yeah, and that's something that you could immerse people into,
Mhm.
right? Like because you can make the thing about all of those movies is there are scenes, plural, where you say, oh my gosh, I wish I could be in this. I wish I could feel what it felt like to ride on a broom. I wish I could feel what it felt like to jump down onto whatever the weird little animal is in Avatar. Yeah. So I
You
think
want to
those.
know what would make me elevate it to $150 worthy?
What?
And this would make it probably $200 if they did live orchestrations with it. I'm like craving going to one of those movies where they do the live orchestrations. They've been doing them at Crosstown.
Yeah.
My friend saw Terminator at Crosstown last
Oh,
week with
really?
live orchestrations and said it was incredible. So I think that'd be a very. I know they've remastered the song, so the orchestrations are going to feel like so much more vast in the sphere.
Yeah.
But you had it live with performances, and then now let's take it one more step.
Okay, here we go.
A rotation of
Orchestras?
no, this never mind. I take it back. Because the whole point of Wizard of Oz, like, I was going to say you have someone famous come in and sing one of the songs. But if I'm watching Wizard of Oz, like, I'm not trying to disrespect Judy Garland. Like,
Gotcha.
Judy Garland she literally gave her life.
Did she?
Yes, it all started with the Wizard of Oz, where
What
they
happened to
starved
her?
her on cigarettes and treated her like a living POS and caused eating disorders and drug problems, and she was surviving on pills and
She did now?
cigs. And Judy Garland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She OD'd long ago.
Oh, okay. I'm
Her daughter is
so-
Liza Minnelli, so maybe you're thinking of Liza Minnelli.
I'm thinking
who is
about-
still alive because we get the official Liza Minnelli counter every time. It's like Liza Minnelli outlived the Pope.
I'm unfamiliar with both of their stories.
They're great.
No doubt in my mind that they are. I've heard Liza Minnelli
Liza, one of the
before.
greatest performers of all time.
That's what I hear.
Liza with a Z, not Lisa with a S, because Lisa with an S goes S, not Z. That's lie instead of Lee.
That's what?
That's lie instead of Lee. Son instead of Z. Liza with a Z. See, Liza? It's one of her songs.
All right,
I used
you
to
got
sing
it.
it all the time.
You got it.
All right. How about the new Christmas Carol?
How about it?
How about
Do we-
it? Being directed by Nosferatu director Robert Eggers, and maybe it will be a scary movie version of. Actually, A Christmas Carol is scary, so I don't need to say a scary movie version of A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol, at its core, is a horror movie. We don't talk about A Christmas Carol enough, but according to reports, he would really like Willem Dafoe to star in it. So I
Which
think
would make
Willem
this
Dafoe as
so
Scrooge.
terrifying.
Exactly.
So damn
I don't
scary.
think we've had the appropriate. We've had good, scary, mean. We've had good, mean Scrooges.
Yes.
But we haven't had scary Scrooges.
We've had good, mean Scrooges. We've had good, goofy, quirky Scrooges.
Yep.
Right? Like the Muppet, A Muppet Christmas Carol is the one that I hold as
Yeah.
the standard for Christmas carols. And that's not super scary. A Diva's Christmas Carol, another great version of a Christmas Carol. Those are all fun, goofy sorts of tales
Yeah.
as ghosts come to visit you because you're a terrible person. This one feels like it's going to be truly terrifying. Yeah. I want it.
I'm excited.
I want it. Let's go.
Desperately want it.
I
You want to know what
I want to go with my friends. I want to go with you. I want to go with my friend Elon. I think we could do some things with some of those type people.
Bill.
Sit down. Bill.
Even
yeah.
Taylor.
All of them.
Mark, Mr. Cuban.
All of them.
Certainly are.
Zuckerberg
are-
also.
Yeah.
Good
Well, he's
friends.
getting married. No, Bezos is getting married. I'm
Go
sorry.
bring
my
him
bad,
too.
my bad.
Bring
Yeah.
him. Bring them all. Let's sit down and watch the tale about what happens when you're just a greedy asshole.
But I think sometimes it doesn't work that way because if it did, maybe some minds would have been opened last night at the Kennedy Center's production of Les Miserables, one of the greatest stories of all time about a group of protesters, not just a group of protesters, an entire country protesting against a tyrannical king and what that looks like. But I'm not sure that hit.
I mean, did they go? Nobody was there. I mean, the people who needed to be there weren't there. Were they?
I think 2 people who could have learned something from the story were there.
They were there.
Yeah, and a bunch of drag queens. And a bunch of drag queens showed up. And the drag queens
I bet they were thrilled about that.
A lot of applause. And then there were some smatterings of booze.
Okay.
Not for the drag queens, let me be perfectly clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Did you have to read Les Mis?
No.
When you were in high school?
No, because I went to the high school where we make the people running the country into the ground.
No, I know, but still, like I feel like worldwide, Les Mis is more read than in the United States. Like it's considered a Victor Hugo classic, and I know we don't read in this country, period. But I was always surprised that book was never on the list of needing to.
I don't think I ever read any Victor Hugo.
I don't think
anything.
I did either. I didn't read Les Mis.
The only thing I know about Les Mis is Key and Peele do a tremendous sketch.
Because it's a very satired piece of literature and art. I don't know if he wrote anything. I don't want to say he didn't write anything else. That would be silly.
Lauryn Hill did.
Notre Dame de Paris.
Okay.
But then Les Mis is most popular.
I'll go see this one. I'll go see this.
The Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I saw Krampus in theaters. It's okay, it was fine. I'll go see this one also. I love a good scary Christmas movie.
I will not be seeing the new SpongeBob movie, I don't think, but Ice Spice is going to be in it. It's the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, and we have learned Ice Spice will be in it, and Ice Spice will be making a song for it. And honestly, good for her. And good for the movie.
Why is that the picture you used of Ice Spice for this movie?
It's like the SpongeBob movie is coming out of her butt.
Which is a SpongeBob movie thing to do?
It is. I believe it's also going to star Regina Hall, which I am interested in, but I don't need Regina Hall in a SpongeBob movie. I need Regina Hall in a new scary movie. That's what I am asking for in this world. George Lopez is also going to be in the new SpongeBob. I didn't know we were getting a new SpongeBob. They got a busy, the studio, Nido? What studio? Paramount.
Yeah.
But the director, or the studio head. They have Smurfs in July, and then the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants in December. It's big.
They got to give us something new.
That's big.
We can't keep leaning on Smurfs and SpongeBob. Smurfs been around since like the 70s or the 80s.
I'm sorry, who asked for a new Smurfs movie?
Y'all keep clamoring for new music from Rihanna.
I didn't want it that way. I didn't want it that way. I had no need for it to come that way.
Well, that's what she said also.
I'm also not clamoring for a new Wonder Woman movie, but that's coming too, courtesy James Gunn. How did you feel about that?
All right, here we go. We're doing the universe. We're redoing this universe again. The first one, the Wonder Woman, the first one with Gal Gadot. So that one. I loved that movie. That movie was really, really good. And then they wasted all of that goodwill. The second Wonder Woman was so bad that it made you forget how good and how big a moment that first one was. Yeah. So if James Gunn can come in here and tell this story, like Wonder Woman's just one of those characters we all sort of just know about.
Yep.
You know about Wonder Woman. Did you watch any Wonder Woman cartoons? Did you watch any Wonder Woman TV shows? Did you read any Wonder Woman comics?
No.
But you know about Wonder Woman, right? Like we know without doing much of anything. Yeah. You wake up one day and you know about Wonder Woman, you know about Superman, and you know about Batman.
Like growing up, I knew Linda Carter.
Right.
But I did not know anything about Linda Carter, except that she played Wonder Woman, and I never watched her play Wonder Woman, but I knew who she was because of that brand.
With those three heroes as your backbone and as your foundation, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, you've got to be able to tell compelling stories. You've got to do this thing better than what DC has done up to this point. Like consistently better. Marvel has found a way to make us care about heroes that we did not know about before the MCU came through. We didn't really care about Iron Man. We didn't really care about the collective. Now, comic book nerds, those people, my people, right, they knew about them. They rocked with them. But the collective, we didn't care about Iron Man or Captain America. We rocked with the Hulk. The Hulk had a TV show, and we knew what the Hulk was. We knew what Spider-Man was. We know what the X-Men are. Marvel found a way to get us to not only care about Iron Man and Captain America, people we didn't care about but we knew about. Hell, they made us care about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Doctor Strange.
And Doctor Strange. Nobody knew what was going on with those dudes. And you've got 3 of the most iconic heroes in all of literature.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to get this right.
Who's going to play her?
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. I'm not sure where James Gunn goes. And it doesn't have to be a big name.
Young or old?
I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this universe right now.
Many questions.
The new Superman movie is like the kickoff of all of this. All right, so boom, he looks to be from the I caught like 2 seconds of the trailer before I muted it. He looks to be like, it's known, okay, he's got his powers. We know how he's gotten them. He's running around doing stuff. I don't know if Lois quite knows who he is yet. So we're at that point of the story. So I would guess a younger woman would be able to be Wonder Woman. You don't have to get a big name to do this. That's how good the Wonder Woman story is. You just have to get somebody who can effing act.
It could be an up-and-comer, which could be fun because then that grows together.
A rehabilitator person, right? That's what Robert Downey Jr. was.
Yes.
That's how he ends up taking Iron Man.
Yes.
Nobody major wanted to do Iron Man. They had to go and get Downey, and Downey was so damn
Britney
good at
Spears.
it. Let's do it.
She's got the chops.
She had a moment. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to go walk in the Lions pit because she likes lions more than men.
I'm going to end it there. What a depressing way to end.
What's depressing about it? She's having a spiritual moment looking at animals. Lions don't ever stand up. They stood up when she comes. Had 2 boyfriends. They were both terrible. But those dogs, damn it, respected her. They bowed when she entered the room.
All right. Tomorrow's Friday.
Thank goodness.
I can't wait. It'll be Friday. Lang Whitaker will join us. I can't wait. I keep kind of slipping into the longer I'm here, the more this weird hybrid Southern accent comes through, and it's getting worse and worse. It's like overtaking me from the inside out. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week. Lang Whitaker will be here. We'll get into a lot with him. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
What you got happening?
I have an appointment with the podiatrist.
What's that, a foot?
The foot doctor.
Your feet okay?
I call the foot doctor.
Well, are you preparing for a new career?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm getting them nice and shiny.
Okay.